Hey guys, Mouth here. So I just read a really great book, but you don't have to take my word for it because of course you can read all the reviews on Amazon. The book's name is this. Well, it's reversed, but that's okay. Dr. Goldman's Guide to Effective Patient Communication. Now, I know you're thinking, I'm not a doctor, I don't have patients. I'm not a nurse, I don't have patients. And that's true, and I get it. But it's not really for that. I mean, yes, it is for that. But anyone who works in any kind of customer care or any type of job where you need to deal with, the population, which is basically like every job, this is a great book for you. It really is. And what I really like about it is that even though you're not a doctor, there's really good things in here. So it talks about like when you have to give, a potentially devastating diagnosis. So in this instance, think about it like, okay, I'm not a doctor again, but I need to give, some bad news to, a parent about their child. I mean, no parent wants to hear, devastating things. And I know this firsthand because when I had to tell a parent something devastating about their child, they wrote an entire blog about what an asshole I was. So that was really cool and why I left teaching. But that's a story for another day. So these are really good examples. Take a seat. I mean, obviously, if you're sitting, and having a one-on-one parent-teacher meeting, or you are, even in retail, when you have to deal with a potential customer who's coming in and they're screaming at you and they want to return and maybe your store policy doesn't allow for A, B, and C, D reasons, okay, there's an example where you might not be able to take a seat, but the concept is, get close, relax, step aside with them. You're not wanting to have that discussion, in the full on of the, store or at the register if you can, and especially, in management positions, take a step aside, take them aside, talk to them, get close to them. You don't have to breathe all over them, but it's that concept of really trying to engage in their energy and be in their energy field. And I know that sounds weird, but trust it works. Be empathetic. I mean, that's kind of a given, right? Someone just bought something, it doesn't work. You're telling someone something about their child, they have dyslexia, they have, or maybe you're not, a technician, you can't say that, but you see things. You have to be empathetic, understand what it's like for that parent to hear that news, but not only to hear it, but the overwhelmingness of that news. A lot of things don't get processed the first time around. You may have to explain it again, and they may not have questions right away, but they'll have them eventually. Be honest. I mean, that's a given. I mean, if it's your store policy to not be able to accept returns past, 30 days or without a receipt or whatever the case may be honest. Say, I'm sorry, this is company policy. You don't have to be a jerk about it though, Console the patient and their loved ones. Okay, again, we're not talking about patients, but we are talking about something very interesting. That's part of empathy. I'm sorry. I know this is tough. I understand, that blah, 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 blah. You may even be able to give suggestions. Some people don't love that. Some people accept that. You kind of have to feel out the situation, but to try to make it better at least. That's always kind of a good rule of thumb. And the last one, avoid getting into the expectation game. So in this instance, they're really talking about like how long you're gonna live or how long it'll take to, cure the situation or whatever the case may be. I feel like that's actually pretty true in kind of all industries. As a teacher, you wouldn't want to say, oh, well, no worries, they'll go to this class and they'll be cured or they'll be fixed or they'll be put them on this medicine. No, you can give suggestions, but don't say this will do this because that's setting them up for failure if they need not that medication or they need a different doctor or they need more than one class or more than one session of classes even to help them along the way. So you don't really want to do that. I mean, I think that goes without saying. In retail, I mean, you wouldn't want to give an expectation if you're not the manager by saying, oh, well, if, you wait till my manager comes, he'll take care of it for you or she'll take care of it for you. Don't set them up. But, store policy is store policy or company policy is company policy. So you really wouldn't want to do that to them because that's really not, the greatest thing. And then it's really cool, this book, because sorry, I just kind of have some noties here. They give you quizzes. I mean, obviously I know you guys can't see and it's reversed and stuff, but That's really cool because, it helps to help you remember, and it's fun. It makes it a game. It makes it something, fun. For you. And I think that's important because you can read books, you can always take notes, in the margins. Obviously with electronic books, that makes it a little bit, more complicated. But at least with this, you can feel like you're really getting something out of it. And that's kind of the goal. I mean, when you're reading a book like this, you want, to get something out of it. You don't just want to read it and be like, ta-da, you throw it on your shelf and that's the end. No, you want to make sure that you're really picking it up, and it's really important. So I highly recommend this book. You don't have to trust me. You can check out all the Amazon reviews. They're there. Again, I hope everyone is good. They're having a fun day. Read this book. You will love it. Your boss will love you for reading it. And again, if you're a teacher and you are having courses on anything, this is great to bring in the mix. Why not? There's nothing wrong with learning about how to communicate with others. So everyone, have a great day and see you on the flip side.